Workplace bullies and the effect they can have on us. Welcome to Thank God It's a Story Saturday, a weekly video series where I share stories with you that you can use to make your messages connect. Why I chose to do a workplace bully topic? Because a couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation with a relatively senior female leader in an organization. And even in her position, she mentioned that she doesn't think she's as good as she thought she was in her role. And that led me to actually interrogate that further and find out that what she was experiencing was, in fact, workplace bullying. So let's start off with a story. So, this is my personal story. So, many years ago, I was in my dream job that I actually left because of a workplace bully. So, I joined this role and I was not feeling comfortable with the way things were going, but I wasn't sure what exactly it was. Now, let me give you an example of what kind of things would take place. So there was this time where I had actually secured a very big contract, and the only person who could sign on this contract was my boss. Okay, he was traveling for work to Thailand, Bangkok, along with some other team members where they were doing a big project. I was in Singapore, so I wrote an email to him that this contract needs to be signed because we need to kind of get it all done before the client changes his or her mind. You always have that fear. I didn't get a response on the email. Then I called, he didn't pick up the phone. Then I messaged, no response. I finally 2 days later messaged a colleague who was with him there, and I asked her, can you please check, is he getting my messages and emails? A few minutes later, she wrote back to me and she said that he's asked me to let you know that he's going out for a boys' night and he won't be able to respond to you. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm thinking too much, maybe it's not as big a deal. And I started to doubt my own decisions. When he came back, things started to look slightly different. He wouldn't copy me on things that are important for the organization. He would, have meetings without inviting me to the meetings. And the sad part about this whole thing is that I actually started to feel that maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was. And, that's the biggest problem of workplace bullying, that it actually really attacks your confidence and your ability to think about how you think about yourself. Now, there is this wonderful article in Harvard Business Review, which is titled, How Workplace Bullying Manifests Itself and How to Stop It. In that, they talk about two types of archetypes, right? The screamer and the schemer. The screamer is the person who shouts and yells and tells people off. And so that's like the obvious bullying, right? We all know that's what's wrong. But then there is this schemer who gaslights, right? Who does things to affect your mental health. And most of the policies in organizations are for extreme behavior, for not that kind of a behavior. I mean, you can't go to HR and tell someone that my boss is not inviting me to meetings that I should be invited to, right? What is HR going to do about that? He'll always have a way, or she'll always have a way to defend herself. What is the point I'm trying to make? The point I'm trying to make here is that workplace bullying manifests itself in many different ways. One of the best ways for you to recognize that is to document everything you're experiencing. When you have enough amount of data, like for example, you have 2-3 incidents, go and speak to the trusted advisor and just narrate what happened and ask the trusted advisor, are you really being bullied, or you're thinking that you're being bullied, or you're not really good at your work? You just ask the trusted advisor to give their point of view. For me, that was very, very helpful because I had started to think that I'm not good at what I do. But as time went by and I started to share with the trusted advisors, they clearly outlined this as a bullying behavior. Well, I left because sometimes leaving is not a failure, it's a sign of self-respect. Hope this helps you identify if you are being bullied at work and take actions to protect your mental health. Stay storied. I'll see you here next Saturday with another story.